Hey, it's Jeff Walker, and a couple days ago I did something I've never done before. I took a ski lesson. So I've been skiing for decades. I'm a pretty good skier. I ski the entire mountain, including all the black runs and all the bumps and the trees. Pretty much ski everything. I still don't consider myself an expert because there's so many people that are so much better than me, but I'm a pretty good skier. But I decided to take a lesson. And I don't know why it took me to so long to actually do this, but boy, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And it goes to one of the core things that I learned, and I learned this far too late in life, but I learned it about, I don't know, 22, 23 years ago. And that's, no matter what you aspire to do, no matter what you want to do, whether it's a profession, it's a hobby, it's something to do with your health, relationship, with money, whatever, no matter what it is, there is someone else who has spent their entire life studying that thing, and they've made it their life's work to get really good at that thing and at teaching that thing. And for a shockingly small amount of money, you can usually take a lesson from those folks, either through buying their book or watching their videos or actually taking an in-person lesson or a workshop. And it's a way to just take massive quantum leaps forward. I first learned this actually from Tony Robbins. And I bought his Personal Power 2 program off the infomercial in the mid 90s. And I was embarrassed actually watching an infomercial over and over and thinking this can't be real. And then I bought it, and it made a huge impact in my life. Taught me so many different things. But one of the things that the lesson within the lesson is that as I observed Tony, I realized that he had just become an expert by learning from all these other experts. And right then I decided, holy cow, this is the way forward. It's just to find the person who's the expert in whatever I want to do and then learn from them. And it could be, like I said, it could be any number of ways, books, seminars, whatever. And back then in the 90s, it was a lot harder. Nowadays, there's so much that's online. There's so much more available. So it's so much the better. Now, there's one important thing, and I relearned this. And I remember when I was learning to kayak, and I'm a pretty proficient whitewater kayaker. And when I was first learning to kayak, like one of the things that you have to master if you're going to be any good at kayaking is rolling the kayak. And that's if you flip upside down, then you need the ability to flip back upside. Upside right, back so you can breathe. That's the big thing. As you're underwater, you're flipped upside down. You're not breathing down there, and the only thing you want to do is be able to roll up so that you can breathe and paddle. It's a way of self-rescuing, and it's some people that aren't familiar with kayaking, they think that's sort of like a party trick or whatever. It's not. It's how you rescue yourself when you're in the whitewater river. And so one of the rights of learning to kayak is getting that roll. And it's not all that hard, but it's a thing you got to do. And I had sort of self-taught myself how to roll. I had a friend teach me how to roll. And I had this shaky roll. It was a kind of roll that sort of worked in ideal conditions, like in a warm swimming pool, which is very different from being out in the river in a loud, scary, cold river. And so anyways, I sort of had this sort of roll. It was under ideal conditions kind of roll. And then I went and I enrolled in a class, and I got coaching every week. And after that first lesson, I went and they broke down my roll, and they eliminated all the bad habits I had from my somewhat sort of shaky roll. And by the end of that first lesson, I couldn't roll anymore because they had eliminated all my bad crutches. And so they broke my roll down, and then in the coming weeks, they built it back up. And it got really, really, really good. For those of you who are into whitewater, I had my onside roll, my offside roll, my hand roll before I ever even got in the river, just from taking this class. But the thing is, I had to take a step back and unlearn all the bad habits. And so sometimes that happens when you move forward and you get a lesson. And frankly, with the skiing, I did learn some really great stuff in this first lesson. But then the next day I was skiing, and I sort of felt like my skiing had stepped back a little bit. So sometimes when you eliminate the bad habits and the crutches in your technique actually steps back a little bit before it moves forward. Now I'm going to be taking lessons for the next 7 weeks, and I know I'm going to just based on that first lesson, I'm going to take a quantum leap forward. So anyways, whatever you're studying, whatever you want to get good at, whatever you want to repair, whatever you want to excel at, someone else has already done the hard work and they figured out how to be great at it and how to teach how to be great at it. And that's your path forward. All you need to do is learn from that person. Find the expert to learn from, and then you'll move faster. You'll move forward faster than you could ever imagine. So I'm Jeff Walker. Wherever you're watching this, scroll down, leave a comment for me, and let's go get them this week.